amount that you brought in, because those 10 have to pass the first two. So you actually got 30 now. You made an extra $325. What happens if we did the 11 like we did before? $214, but oh, look at here, $643. That's an extra $429. Let's do the 12. Everyone brought in an average 12. And remember, we're talking free members, not paid members. These are people coming in. And remember, no one got the money plug-in but you. $829. Look at that there. An extra $553. So if we just took it up to the 15, let's say, so your first month, you and everybody just averaged to 15. And I tell you, it's going to go like wildfire when we open the doors, because no one knows about it. Just a few people that are on our waiting list right now. We call them action lists because they're waiting for the action. So look at this right here, $1,597.50 instead of this here. But I'll tell you right now, you see the power of this, because not only do you get to go to 15 people, you actually get to start emailing or intermessaging those 45 people, because they keep passing them over to you. So since they're passed over to you, even if you just went with that 15 and you stopped, what's going to happen the next month? You're going to get those 45 are going to add 2 more to you. Right? So it's going to double to 90, then double to 180. It keeps adding on. This keeps growing. It will grow by itself without you having to worry about it. $1,597.50 instead of $532. Which one would you rather have? This one or the money plug-in? But it gets better, because guess what? A lot of people are going to get the money plug-in. We really think it will be closer to around 30 to 40% will get the money plug-in. But let's say you did this scenario here and only 10% of your organization, only 10% got the money plug-in. What would that do for you? Let's take a look here. Wow, $3,195. That's because we pay out 50% commission on the money plug-in for those 3 levels again. We pay out 25%, we pay out 10% for the second level, and we pay out 15% for the third. So if only 10% will get it, you would actually get an extra $2,662.50. If that's all you did in your first month, voila, look at this here. And also, see this here? This $1,597.50, that's residual income, because the money plug-in is $10 a month for those people that choose to get it. So if you get it and 10% of the people get it, hey, you're making $1,597.50 each month for something that only costs $10 a month. And guess what? We talked to a lot of people on some of our webinars we had, and a lot of people said, I don't have $10. I can't afford $10. And we said, that's fine. You saw what you did over here, right? When you start making this money, you can get this out of your profits. So you can start off totally free and use your profits, because you already know you will make this money. You are guaranteed to make money as a free member. And then you can take that $10 and plug it in there. Now, those who have the $10 to start with will start right there, because they don't want to waste anybody. One person that you miss could lose you thousands of dollars because of all the pass-ups that come up from it. But still, even this is nothing. This is nothing. Let's take a look here. I'm going to show you what we call the power of 2. Now, this is really exciting here. And this is going to show you what will happen in your first 3.5 days, 7 days, 10.5 days, 14 days, 17.5 days, all the way up to 28 days. What can happen? And we're going to really back it down, because the other scenarios we said, what if you got 15 and everyone has average 15, you got 10, everyone average 10? Well, let's do it this way. Let's say you start in your first month and you built it up, and you got people in, you got people passed up to you. Let's say you did your first month. At the end of the first month, you had 100 people, which is going to be easy to do, because we have people who are making their waiting list right now. Those action lists I told you about, they have an action list right now, and they've got 100 people to sign up on their action list the very first day. Other people got 25 their first day, 50 their first day, 30 their first day. This is just their first day. We got people that have hundreds. I know one person that has over 1,000 people after about the first week, had 1,000 people on his list. I mean, these are people just like you waiting to get in here and get the money. So let's say all you did in that first month, you got 100. Or you started your own action list before we started, and then you brought in 100 people. Let's say you build it up to 100. What would that mean? And remember, that's also 100 people you can enter messages about your products. So let's see what 100 does. We'll put 100 in here, and that makes, right up here, 100. So you'll see that's the 100. It goes right there. And if everyone only averaged 2, not the 10, but they only averaged 2 in 3.5 days. You think people are going to have a problem bringing in 2 free members in 3.5 days? I don't think so. Now, when people are bringing in 100 people on their first day just for the waiting list, to get on that action list. So it's not going to be hard for anyone to come in here and bring in 2. So we're going to say everyone just averaged 2. Not 10, not 15, not 5, not 6, not 4, just 2. So you build it up to your 100, and there you go. So that very first month there, this is what you make. $210. Doesn't sound like a lot, right? But we're just basing it off 2. This is, not really realistic, right? Because we know everyone will average a lot more than 2. But we're just dropping it down there. So now you say, okay, that's it. I brought my 2 in. I got my 100 in. And now I'm going to stop. I'm going to let the money plug-in do its work for me. I'm not going to do anything else. No more advertising. No more going out there and telling people. I'm going to let it happen. So what happens? Well, those 100 people, remember, each individual only has to bring in 2. So we're going to say average 2. And they have to pass that first 2 to you. So the next 3.5 days, you're going to get 200 more people passed over to you. So 200. Look at this. Now you got 300. And, for that 3.5 days, you made $420. Look at this. $420. And look at here. We left this at 10%. That's $210 for that 3.5 days. We didn't count what was before that. So it's more like $420 residual. But we're just showing for that 3.5 days. That's how much new money in residual that you would actually add on. So now you made $630 and you didn't do anything the next 3.5 days. Well, what's going to happen the next 3.5 days? Well, those 200 have to pass their 2. Guess what? You got 400. And this is getting pretty good here. That also makes you an extra $840 for that 3.5 days. So you look, now you can enter message, you can email these 700 people, plus you just made $1,470 doing nothing.